cello, and she's very, she's a master of what she does, but that we include a sense of playfulness into everything we do. And it doesn't matter if you're a filmmaker, if you're a composer, or if you're doing something completely different. You know, well, maybe Butch this. But on the whole, you know, this sense of this wonderment, this discovery, this putting things together which shouldn't quite fit together, and somehow you still end up. We are all interested in telling the one story, and that is the story of us, the story of mankind, the story of who we are on this tiny little planet.
And the only thing I would add to that is that in telling that story of us, and yet sharing our creativity, whether it's in a project, a business you want to start, or something, it's your profession, it's to create something that you're going to share with people, finding that connection between an idea that excites you and an expression of yourself, that intersection is really fun. It is fun. It is play to explore. If you don't, if you allow it to be sort of free and let the world around you and your friends around you help inspire you, it can be incredibly exciting and fulfilling.
So let's begin today's journey really by taking a look at the highly emotional scene. I think you know which one I'm talking about, from Gladiator, one of the most inspirational film compositions. Let's watch Gladiator.
Maximus. Quintus. Free my men. Senator Gracchus is to be reinstated. There was a dream that was wrong. It shall be realized. These are the wishes of Marcus Aurelius.
Free the prisoners! Go!
Lucius is safe.
Well, actually, we're doing this slightly wrong, because this was done very much the way Ron and I work, whereby I sit at the keyboard, you start telling the story, I start just playing whatever comes, whatever you say to me, I translate it into my language. I mean,
that is beautiful translation. Whatever Ron says, Hans translates it into his language.
Well, it's an interesting creative collaboration, because music, I mean, I'm not a musician, It's a language that I don't speak, I don't understand, and yet it's so vitally important to what we do, to emotions, and it is a language. And every other facet of telling stories, I understand more or less how to do that job. I do not know how to do this job, but it's still, I have to lead, I have to try to make the movie soar. I remember working on the first time we worked together, Backdraft, I discovered you had this capacity to take our conversations, creative conversations. I could talk to you the way I would talk to an actor or a writer, and it would transform what you were going to play.
But yeah, I mean, look, should we try this?
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't started piano, so I don't know if it works. So as you tell me the stories, tell me the story. Tell me what you want to tell me. Because we've done this on Rush, we've done this on a lot of films.
We did it on Backdraft.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to do Backdraft?
Hang on, if I can remember.
Well, Backdraft, I remember, started off, and the score was powerful, it was emotional, it was everything, but it didn't feel like it was capturing the spirit of these characters. And so I said, well, come talk to me. Come talk to me about these brothers who are these firefighters.
So one of the things that Ron said, which was really profound, I thought, was firefighters and ambulancemen, first responders, they are the good guys. When they turn up at your house, they're only there to rescue you. So you can write like a love theme, like a patriotic love theme for them. Plus the other thing was the brothers in the movie were Irish.
They were Irish.
A patriotic love theme. I love it.
So I felt we could go there. But it literally was like, which is the sort of heroic move.
At that point, so that opening, I was like leaning in as an audience member, feeling it, and also, but as the director of the movie, I was feeling it didn't quite take off the way I thought it should. And I was just saying, yeah, but the sacrifice and what they give of themselves. And then Hans said, oh, you mean this?
I mean, it's like he's speaking and he's creating images in my head with his stories, and I'm just translating them.
It's amazing because you can.
Oh yes, that's heroic.
Yes.
And there's a sort of there's a poetic and a youthfulness in this cause.
Yeah, and Hans often has great musicians around in the room. And he creates this environment where there's this sort of free association and discussion. And there you go. That's what you came up with. I remember that, and it just changed everything. But he'll also be looking at a screen and just looking at it. He said, "Quiet, turn the sound off. Let me just watch it for a second." And he'll just start doing this. And this is in the coolest studio in Hollywood, the most creative, the epicenter of creativity. Is Hans's studio there in Santa Monica with these great artists around, and this ability to just kind of connect with the images you see and make music around them.
It was really wonderful for us to get a little tiny glimpse into the back and forth between you. Let's talk about this. I think everyone in here would like, yes, Hans Zimmer&Ronha워d. So we want to talk about collaboration a little bit more down in our journey a little bit, but I want to know where you get your inspiration, because we are all looking for inspiration. We all are storytellers. Where does yours come from? Where does yours come from?
Well, I find inspiration in those moments, and then it builds from there. So it's like I'll see something, I'll read something that I connect with, And I, as a storyteller, and I've been around that since I was a child. You know, I started acting when I was 4 years old, and I just learned about sort of building a collaboration around an idea and reaching a point where it just means more to me and can connect with the audience. So it's always about a communication.
Mhm. And when you said those moments, are you speaking about everyday moments
They can be,
or
absolutely.
the big moments?
Both.
Both.
I mean, it can be anything that sparks my imagination and kind of opens my heart is, I think, always the beginning of something strong. And then because it is a matter of communication, it's a question of sharing those ideas and feelings.
Yeah.
Do you feel that too? And if the answer is yes, that's empowering. That's empowering. If it's no, then you know you have to ask follow up with that question. Well, why? Because I think it's always important to trust your instincts, to trust your gut, around whatever inspires you, but also to test your taste. Because storytellers need good taste, and they have to build on their own. But it's always important to challenge that so they don't get into a creative rut.
Absolutely, and putting it in front of people. I mean, the great thing we are allowed to is that we are allowed to go and show our story in front of lots of people and figure out if we're advancing the storytelling genre in a way.
And what else can your idea yield?
Right.
It's yours, that's great, but don't hold it precious. Share it. One of the greatest things is to just tell your friends. Talk to people around dinner. Here's what I'm thinking, and see how they react. It doesn't mean they're more right than you are, but they may say something that's going to stimulate your imagination. Your antenna is tuned toward a certain set of ideas, themes, feelings that you want to express, or a project you want to do, or an idea you want to create. And their response will only heighten that sensitivity that you have now to this idea. Whether they like the idea or don't like the idea, it almost doesn't matter.
But very often what happens, because I do this too, I do it with my kids, hey, I got this idea, and I start telling them, and very often I get back, nah, that's the worst thing I ever heard.
That's what kids say to their parents, right?
And the thing that I realize is all ideas aren't just, the idea might be good, but I haven't gotten good enough yet to execute.
That's right.
And you need to go and, you need to give yourself some time to practice the scales, to practice the piano, to practice the words, to practice how you're going to go and make this work.
How does this idea fulfill itself best?
Yes.
So, is it Wagnerian?
Right.
Is it Irish American?
Yeah.
What is it? The ideas are the same, but how are they expressed? And so that matters with a creative project, but it also matters, in almost every decision that we make in life that's a crossroads.
So yesterday, one of our founders, Sandy Tillotson, told us that she had been accused of being a daydreamer in her life, and she realized that was a good thing.
Right.
That was a great thing. So how do you take those dreams? We have some people with really big visions and really big dreams in this room. So I want you to tell us how you take those moments or the things that you think about or dream about, and how you take them from just a kernel of an idea, and then what's your process to bring them to reality? How do you make those dreams really happen?
Well, you begin with that idea that you're passionate about. You test it, you think about it, and now it's time to act on it. And now it becomes craft. This is where the hard work comes, but it's exciting work because you're working towards something. You're exploring something. Scientists. I learned so much from doing Apollo 13 and Beautiful Mind about science and the way it works. Genius about Albert Einstein, and they work problems, and they're thrilled when they reach a dead end because they can eliminate that. And that doesn't mean they give up working on the project.
Absolutely.
They just keep marching forward. So when craft comes into play, now you begin breaking your idea down into smaller bits. How do I start? What's my outcome? What do I hope to achieve? What can this project mean? What can this story mean? Where are we trying to go? You can ask by developing and asking smart questions in kind of a Socratic way. You keep testing your idea, but inevitably you're pushing it forward, but you have to keep acting on it.
Right.
It has to, I mean, dreams are wonderful. I applaud the dreamers. The world spins on dreams. But you have to really understand it and take it into action.
Well, I think one really vital component is getting collaborators in. You know, I don't know if you do this very early on. I suspect, and we never talked about it, that you do this very early on. As the idea comes, you go, oh well, then this person would be really good, and this person would be really good, and this person would be really good. So you build a family that
One of the things I love about working with you is you're a great artist. I'm going to embarrass you. You're a genius, and he is.
He's right.
But he also creates this collaboration around him that is so unbelievably stimulating.
Wow.
That he's inviting the ideas to be challenged at all times, and it only elevates. I'm going to tell a quick story about collaboration. So I started acting at 4 years old. I began on a television show that was incredibly successful in the United States called The Andy Griffith Show. This began when I was 6 years old.
Opie Taylor.
Many of you won't know what that show was, but I played the sheriff's son in a small town. Andy Griffith. I played Andy Griffith's son, a character named Opie. Well, in the environment around this show,